What did he do? That he can bring you around other girls? Not happening. I'm your mama. Nobody else be gonna be your mama. Period. No stepmama over here. Okay, mommy's baby. It's gonna be a family. I guarantee that. They better believe that.
Peace, love, life, and balance. What's going on, fam? We just watched a clip from the homie La Truth. Got a great YouTube channel. Check him out. Link is in the description. But you just seen about basically how a lot of these baby mama terrorists operate. A lot of times, because like we talk with you all the time on this topic, is that they have when a woman's doing it, there's psychological trauma that she's dealing with, whether it's before you, after you, doing you, all together, doesn't matter. A lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, and the child is basically, because a woman, you gotta understand, we gotta understand, man, that they can't come in and whoop you. In most cases, not all, but in most cases, they can't come and beat you up and do what they want, and just beat you down or do what they really want to do without that anger. So that child is that main weapon to get out that aggression and that anger and that jealousy. They feel like they can use that, and in their mind, sometimes they believe that if they drain your energy and your resources and get between you and other women, or get between you and your career, that they get you beat down to the point to where you have no other options. They can scoop you back up and rebuild the family. So a lot of them think like that. They see how this one thing in that clip, or they just want to see you doing bad, just to see you doing bad, because they spiteful and toxic. But anyway, I'm going to re-show. We're going to go into the video. You're going to see the original video I had up talking about how you got to move forward as men, dealing with baby mama situations, how you got to move forward and establish yourself to help establish your children. Not let these tactics drain you as a man. And it's not easy, but you have to be able to do it. It's for the best. It's for the best, and you be the best version of you. The original video I had posted is coming right after this. I had to take it down and edit it because of some situations. But here it is again. Peace, love, life, balance. What's going on, family? It's your host, Chief Jamal, coming right at you. Listen, this for my brothers. This for my brothers out there, man, who dealing with so-called baby mama drama, or you have kids with one woman, especially those brothers who have kids with multiple women, but they may not have the best relationships with those women, or what it may be. We understand the societal things that we're dealing with. You have to understand, men, that we don't have our grandfathers, our fathers before us. They didn't have the obstacles that we have today as men. The modern woman is given a lot more freedom. Okay, the modern woman has basically, the government has incentivized her to be single. They have incentivized her to not want a family. So she doesn't have the same, and society is not ashamed anymore. It's actually the opposite. Society praises so-called strong, independent women. So you have to understand that when you decide to procreate, especially in a traditional family, you can't take it lightly, or you can't even listen to stories of your grandfather and your father and all of them, because it's two different worlds, man. This is a whole different ball game we're dealing with. They had shame. The women had some shame back then. They had societal pressure, religious pressure. All those things are gone. So there's really no incentive for a woman has to actually, which is in some ways good. And I got a video coming up on that, because I'm saying this. I don't want you to think whether you're male or female, but I know some females still watch this directly towards men. And this is the Balance channel. And I give both perspectives. And usually when I do a video like this, I do a video about the other side as well. But understand this, that they don't have those same societal issues, okay, that we have. So a lot of us are listening to R&B music. A lot of us are, looking at our grandfather, talking about those brothers who really want traditional, not the pump and dump guys, not the guys who out here that just want to get some pussy and all that. We're talking about guys who trying to build a family. You can get caught up real easy, and there's a lot of misconceptions out here too. And if you back in ancient times, and even not ancient times, but even less than a century ago, decades ago, a man that was able to produce seed with different women was valued a lot higher in society.
now because that represents the ultimate apex of masculinity, this attack on masculinity that is frowned on in society. You call, and men are often, we so psychologically discouraged that a lot of us quit and give up. But you can't quit and give up on your children. But what I will say is this, man. Do not overstress yourself. Do not forget to take care of yourself, okay? When you're dealing with these women and you're dealing with these baby mama drama, and don't involve yourself in unnecessary drama. Meaning that don't argue with these women. Don't go back and forth. You're gonna lose a lot. I've done all these mistakes. I'm telling you all mistakes that I've done, so I can tell you from experience. And I have 8 children, okay? I have 8 children, not all of them with the same woman, all right? So if anybody knows can talk about this, is me. What I would tell you is that don't overexert yourself, okay, as a man. It's just because the society wants us to take on all the responsibility. Rollo Tomas, I don't agree with everything he say, but he has a quote that I agree with strongly, is that responsibility. Now, I'm all about men stepping up, being responsible, and us taking charge as men. But responsibility without authority is slavery. If you tell somebody to be responsible, they have no authority, that's slavery. And that's why I took myself out of the dating market. I took myself out of, not MGTOW or nothing like that. I plan on eventually reintegrating back with the woman. But I just think it's that you have to be so careful nowadays. You have to have a strategy. It's not, you have to take it super seriously. And right now I got so many things going. A woman is the farthest thing on my mind. But what I do want to do is help those out here who trying to reintegrate or are currently integrated. You can't lose yourself trying to think. You will lose yourself trying to chase these women and chase your children. And you can't do that. You got to remember that if you broken down financially, if you mentally stressed out and you depressed, and you finally do, what good are you to those children? Eventually you're gonna be wiped out. You got to maintain your health. You got to maintain a smile, because when you got a smile and you're moving and you progressing, trust me, they will come back and reach out to you. You don't have to reach out to them, and you're gonna get a lot of shaming. You're gonna have people telling you, don't you care about you? They're gonna try to shame. They're gonna try to call you a deadbeat dad. As a man, you gotta look. You know that you're not a deadbeat dad. You made your efforts. She's not ignoring it. Once you make your efforts to see your children, you let it be known, I want to see my children, and they don't cooperate, just fall back. Go through the court system. I know I hate to say it, but you gotta go through the court system and let it be. Get a lawyer. If you don't got a lawyer, sit back till you can get one, or get good sound legal advice, or study for yourself. But don't involve yourself in conflict with these women. Go back and forth and try to appease these women. Don't cry out for your kids. Don't post on social. That's not stuff like that. I ain't never post on social media or put my business out there. And men that's real effeminate, don't do that, man. You gotta maintain your dignity as a man, right? Your children are gonna grow up. And they're gonna figure things out. I have children who are older and younger. So I'm speaking from the whole spectrum, not just some guy on here talking, some guy on here on YouTube just making shit up and talking to y'all. Everything I talk about on my channel, I have experience and I live, and I have credentials to talk about. So trust me on that. You cannot you will lose yourself trying to prove you're a good father. You will lose yourself trying to show that you care about your kids. You can't worry about that, man. You got to move on with your life. It don't mean that you don't care about your children. You actually show that you actually do care, because a better version of you is gonna make a better father. A more complete sound mental you, a more complete sound physical you, a more complete sound financial you is all positivities towards being a better father. Okay? And you're gonna have these women, when they see that you don't care no more, they're gonna try to say, oh, you ain't nothing. They might even post. You gotta ignore that. Don't engage in that. Don't try to prove yourself, because over time you will win. You gotta understand, man, a woman that's a baby mama terrorist, that's trying to terrorize your life, keep your children, that's a woman that has severe mental issues. That's a woman that has severe hurt and pain. She is not a stable person. She won't be able to maintain. The scripture says that the ways of an adulterous woman, because that's adultery. Scripturally speaking. Now look, but you want to know this, as far as biblically concerned, when a woman has a child by you and she chooses to leave your life and she don't want to be subservient to you, according to the scriptures, that's adultery. Now, if you don't believe in the scriptures, that's fine. But for those who understand the scriptures, that is adultery. So it's an adulterous woman. So go into Proverbs and you read about an adulterous woman. It says that their ways are movable. You can't know them. You can't know them. So you can't sit up there and try to get to know and try to figure out, you will lose your mind doing that. You'll lose your mind doing that, man. You have to find you and you have to actually, to get to see your kids more, to get back in their life, you're gonna have to first be, and it took me years of bumping my head to understand, you have to be selfish somewhat. You have to build you, because as long as she can extract that energy from you, get you to argue, get you to go back and forth, get you to do all that, she gonna feel like she winning and got an upper hand, and nothing's gonna change. It's gonna frustrate her. So she might use it against you in court. There's really nothing to gain in that. Or she might make you a sexual slave. Like I've been a sexual slave, where I'm having sex just because I can see my children, and I really don't want to have sex, and whatever it may be. She's gonna try to extract the resource from you. She's gonna use it against you. You have to totally feel the same thing, y'all. All these dating coaches tell y'all about, you gotta ignore, you gotta sit back, you gotta just let her come chase you. It's the same thing when you're dealing with your baby mama, man. With these baby mama terrorists. You gotta let them reach out. Let them fall on their face, man. Let them, they wanna be independent and take care of the children. Just let them, man. Let them. They still your child. You will have your say and your time. They will come back to you, and if they don't come back, guess what? You have your resources built up. You'll be able to go with a game plan. You'll be able to get a good lawyer. You'll be able to you'll be financially able to withstand any financial blows. If you're not on child support already, you'll be more built to for the battle. But don't lose yourself trying to fight to see your children. Because you're going, if society, especially other women, will say, oh, you got to fight, do whatever you can to see your baby. Do whatever you can for you, man. Get your health together first and be the best you. That's going to be the best thing you can do for your children, is to be the best you. Don't worry about what people saying, man. This is about you, because at the end of the day, when you die and everybody die, no one's going to remember. No one's going to remember if you was a good father or not, man. Or a Facebook post about you or some guy. No one really gives a shit. That's to give her energy and make her feel valid about losing you. If you was a guy of value, any guy of value, they're going. When this goes both ways, when men do it to the women, when people lose someone of value, they're going to try to devalue that person to make themselves feel better and to show the world that, hey, I'm moving up. I can do better. This person was nothing. It was easy. It was nothing for me to lose this person. So what you do is, the way you kill that is by building your value. Don't even post nothing about it, man. Post yourself winning. Post yourself doing things that you always want to do, man. Have adventures, travel. You gotta act like you ain't got no kids. And you're gonna start to see the tide turn, man. Devote yourself spiritually. Start works to say, don't involve yourself in any drama. Don't anything that's stressful with dealing with your kid outside of having the good things you obligated to, like courts or visits, or if you got this is for fathers who not in their children's life, that's trying to get into their kids' life. Don't overstress yourself, man. Okay? Don't feed into it. Don't go back and forth. Don't sit and cry. Don't complain. Talk with other trusted brothers. If you want to talk with me about it, I'm fine. I'm free. I don't charge nothing. It's free, man. Just reach out to me. I'll get you help and resources. I'm in the community. I'm a legendary Black Panther. So I will help you for free to cope with it. Okay? For nothing. But get you some help. Don't try to, and don't be afraid to get help. It's a very, when you literally lose, when you ain't around your kids, man, it's a death. When you can go through a divorce or a breakup even with a baby mama, it's like a death. You literally losing a part of you. So you got to take time out to rebuild yourself as a man, okay? You got to take time out to get yourself together. You can't worry about people shaming you, about being a bad father, this and that, saying you don't do this. Get yourself together, man. That's going to be the best thing you can do for those children, is to be the best you. You will literally kill yourself, man. Trying to look, man. When I decide I'm not gonna worry about this, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna leave it up to the legal process. I'm not saying abandon your children. Still file your paperwork. Still be on point. But don't the day-to-day, the stress, the back and forth. Stay out of that. These are your children. You ain't gotta. The fact that you gotta ask her and get permission from her to see your children is stupid. So when she left, she basically saying that, I want to be the authority in your life. No, you the authority in your life. And then you got to arbitrate to the course you can. And some of y'all, if you play it, sometimes you ain't even got to do that. She'll come back corrected. You ain't got to, a woman ain't got to submit to you just as your wife. She can be a concubine. A woman, you don't even have to look. A lot of y'all think that in the ancient world, a lot of the concubines didn't even have sex with them, man. They just submissive. So what you do is you can put her back in concubine status. You just shine and build, and she gonna want to reach out to you, because if you a man of value, trust me, she not gonna upgrade. Don't worry about her upgrading another man. Listen, man, I've never ever seen a woman, and I'm not saying it's to brag, it's just the truth. I've never ever seen a woman not be with me and then get a better man than me. I'm talking about on surface level stuff. I'm talking about physically, whatever you want to name. They always lack. And if they had one or two things over me, they had a bunch of things under me. They never upgrade, bro. You ain't gotta worry about that. They're not gonna upgrade. When you hit the spirit world is deep. It has a way of punishing us, whether we know it or not. They'll settle. They'll get somebody that they tell themselves they're happy. They might, and if they repent of and they get back, they might get somebody who they can be content with. But they will never upgrade past you. Joshua 1:5. No man can stand before you all the days of your life. So when you're a man in your purpose and calling, can't nothing stand before you, man. So with that being said, peace, love, life, balance.